Quiet on set.
Roll camera.
Sound speed.
Mark, please. And action.
Welcome back to Students in Focus. I'm Katie, student producer at the Utah Education Network. In this show, we focus on the incredible creativity from students across the state of Utah. It's Women's History Month, and this episode is all about amplifying the voices and successes of women who continue to inspire us every day. This week, we are shining the spotlight on talented student filmmaker Kaylee Russell from Uintah High, and we have a documentary about an all-female crew. We also have an industry spotlight with Virginia Pearce, director of the Utah Film Commission. Kaylee Russell is a senior at Uintah High. She was recently celebrated by the Utah High School Activities Association. Her sportsmanship video was selected as the winner from all the 4A submissions in the annual Sportsmanship Video Contest, which earned her a scholarship. The UHSAA will show her video at events statewide this year.
Sportsmanship and school spirit are a priority at Uintah High. We embrace the true school spirit of sports and make every game an opportunity to show our best sportsmanship to our teammates and opponents.
We promote the importance of sportsmanship in social media by sharing inspiring stories, highlighting acts of kindness, and showing the fan of the game. We use our platforms to celebrate sportsmanship and showcase the values of respect and fair play.
We believe in sportsmanship and respect, so we greet our opponents with kindness and show appreciation to the fans for their support. After the game, we congratulate the opposite team and thank their fans for being there. It's all about creating a positive and inclusive environment for everyone involved.
We develop a positive climate at our school events by using yells, chants, cheers, and gestures that bring everyone together and show support for our teams. Our cheers are inclusive and uplifting and will avoid any negativity or disrespect.
My school shows respect for the game and participants by promoting fair play, sportsmanship, and cheering for both teams. We respect and acknowledge the integrity and judgment of the officials by trusting their decisions, refraining from criticizing, and treating them with courtesy and respect.
We will display humility in victory and graciousness in defeat by celebrating our accomplishments with modesty and showing respect to our opponents. It's about maintaining a positive and sportsmanlike attitude, win or lose.
We'll treat the contest as a game and not a war by focusing on sportsmanship, respect, and friendly competition. It's about having fun, enjoying the game, and keeping the spirit-friendly competition alive.
We encourage inclusivity in teams by ensuring that everyone has an equal opportunity to participate. We value teamwork, communication, and respect for each other's unique strengths. We create an environment where everyone feels valued and supported.
The game is about supporting and encouraging each other during the highs and the lows. Everyone fights to win, but always remember to respect your opponent because it is how we show true sportsmanship. Here at Uintah, our sportsmanship sets the tone for how we play and compete in our events. It's more than just a game. At Uintah, we got you.
I'm Kaylee Russell, and honestly, I haven't been taking videos for that long, but I have been doing photography. Ever since I was little, I've always had a camera in my hand, and it wasn't until high school when I started investing in nice cameras and stuff, and then once I got into Miss Elison's class, that's when I really focused on videography. Photography, I would have to say families. That's my favorite to shoot. And for videos, I would have to say our sports. We have such an amazing, sports and clubs here, and it was really fun to shoot all of them. Honestly, I just got put in her class. I took one of her class freshman year, and I was terrified of her, and I did not want to take her class, but then I got put in it, and it was the best thing that happened to me. I was able to get out of my comfort zone, and she was really able to push me to make those videos, and which led to me winning the scholarship for the video for 4A, which was awesome. And if I wouldn't have been in that class, I wouldn't have done it. So I'm very grateful for her to be my teacher and just push me to be my very best. For the video, they had a list of questions that you had to answer throughout the video. So I thought that having each athlete from the sport that I recorded, I had each sport, each athlete answer the question. So that's why the voiceover is all of the athletes talking. And then it was, I think, there was a time limit, I think it was 3 minutes. And then you just upload it, and I mean, from there it was kind of nerve-wracking, you know. But yeah, they announced it like 2 weeks after, and I won, and I was super excited. I think one of the biggest challenges is like thinking that, I mean, in everything you do, you always like think that you're not good enough, or like you're taking pictures and you're like, oh, but so-and-so does it better. But the good thing about being in the Basin and at Uintah High School is that there's so many talented photographers and videographers. I've been able to work with a lot here, and I've learned a lot from it, which is amazing because it just helps me grow. My favorite project would definitely have to be my sportsmanship video. It was really fun for me to interact with all of the athletes, and it was a lot of hard work, but it was very fun to do, and I loved being challenged. So one thing in the class that we had to do was create weekly posts, and Miss Elison had me in charge of the whole Facebook account, and it was really fun to, you know, create designs and interact not only with the students but the community, letting know that events are coming out, and it was super fun to create. Having a hands-on experience just makes it more like my dream come a reality. I mean, this is something ever since I was little I've always been interested in, and it wasn't until I got into high school when I was actually able to, you know, learn how to use cameras, like seeing what it actually takes behind the scenes, which was really great, and I wouldn't have got that if I wouldn't have taken the classes. I am attending SUU next fall, and I definitely want to continue either photography or videography. I think I'm gonna focus more on photography, but we'll just see what happens. I've always had a love for it, so it'll be definitely something that is gonna happen in my future. I think I've always just had like an eye for like being creative. I'm a dancer, so I've always like been very creative, and I think just being behind a camera just allows me to express myself more, and I just love it. I would say do it 100%. I mean, the worst thing that's gonna happen is that you find out that you don't love it, and that's totally fine. You can find something else, but even if you have like just a slight interest in it, I think everyone should do it. You learn so many, not only like camera skills, but life skills. Like I said, I had to interact with people to like get the equipment that I needed, and all the sports things, you get to interact with students, which is super fun. So if someone was wanting to do the class, I would highly recommend it because you just take so much from it, and I know I did. And not only that, it's gonna help me in the future, which is always what you wanna do in high school, is preparing for your future. So I would 100% take the class and do it.
We're looking for student-produced films and videos to feature on TV. Learn more at uen.org/studentsinfocus to have your media considered for an upcoming episode of Students in Focus. I am currently in a class at Spy Hop called Pitchnik. In the class, we create 4 films over the course of a year. In this next piece, by me, I interviewed Pitchnik alumni about their film, My Name Is. This all-female crew tells us all about the production process and dives deeper into why more students and women should explore the film industry as a career and the impact their voice can have on their community.
The story of the film does not relate to my story and like the stuff that I went through in my transition in my life. I just wanted to see positive representation of a trans woman, but also a trans woman's relationship with her parents, because it's a story that is so rarely heard and seen. Because the crew are also very connected with trans women and the trans community, which certainly helps. But they're also connected with like a woman's struggles, and if it were a cast of all men, I don't think they would have had the same sort of empathy and drive to go and create that.
Actually, My Name Is was my first thing I've ever done with filmmaking, but before I started being behind the camera, I was an actress, and still am an actress.
I've always kind of just loved films. Like, it's just been the way I see the world, and so over the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, hey, maybe I should put my love for it into a career field that would be really fun. So I started taking classes through Spy Hop.
I learned about Spy Hop through my mom, who saw this really cool program called Pitchnik, and she told me to apply, because why not?
Pitchnik is a year-long, Spy Hop's longest class. It's a year-long apprenticeship where each student writes their own short films, then pitches it to a board of local filmmakers. And then of those films, the board chooses 4, and they make those over the course of the year. When my film got picked, I was ecstatic. It was incredible. It's not an easy feeling to describe. It's just all around an amazing thing to happen.
I originally wanted to be a producer because I thought, hey, I'll work really well with numbers and logistics. I'm pretty good at that. And then I stepped behind a red camera for the first time when we were practicing, and I ended up loving it instantly, pretty much. It was like love at first touch of the camera. It was really cool.
I mean, Aria drew me in because I loved her story. Reading at the table reads, I was always like, this one is super powerful. So I originally got picked just to AD, and some situations occurred and we needed a producer spot. So I was so excited to step in and like take that spot.
Directing is harder. You have the creative faucet, but you have to funnel it through other people's minds and lenses of like what they think your idea is. So it's really crafting the vision in their eyes so you can get your vision.
My time on set, I learned a ton about filmmaking. It was my first experience being on set as production and not in front of the camera, so I learned a lot at the behind the scenes of everything, how everything was done, how you get from script to screen, which is a lot of a learning curve. There's a lot that goes into it.
It's such a powerful story, and I think women just like understand the struggle a bit more because while we are not as repressed or marginalized as the trans community or people of color, women have been the backbone of a lot of those movements and trying to get rights. There's so many cases where women have been the fighters for progression, and so we understand a little bit harder what that fight means. And so I think it's really important that this story is told through women or marginalized communities that understand the pain, because while I might not understand what it's like to be trans, I understand what it's like to be told I'm not good enough because I'm a woman, or harassed, or I have people in my life that I know that have been through that, you know, and I think I feel a lot more than I think some would.
There's not enough all-women crew on sets these days, and you see that all the time, and I just think it's awesome that we can have more women on film sets. It's just such a great environment.
On the premiere of the film, I didn't really know what to feel. But as soon as the film showed and like the audience started clapping, I just burst into tears. It was like, oh my God, they see it. The people have finally seen this thing I've been working on for a year, and it was incredible. I mean, I hope the audience got out that not all trans stories need to be about trans pain or trans suffering. There are stories of trans joy which need to be celebrated.
My advice to an aspiring filmmaker would probably be just start. Just make a script if you want to do fiction, make a treatment if you want to do a documentary. Have that idea always in the back of your head, and when it starts taking up your mind while you're sitting and daydreaming of that film, that's when you know you should make it.
doesn't matter what you create or the quality of it. Go out with your potato camera and just keep on creating, hone your craft.
Even if you're like, this story sucks, it has no meaning, it's boring, just do it, because we think about film as it's all for others to enjoy, but a lot of what film is, it's for yourself to enjoy. And the making it is the beautiful thing. Like, Ari and Amelia, they're like lifelong friends for me. Like, I love them. Working on set with them was beautiful. And like, me and Aria hanged out this week. Like, you make friends on set. You unlock things about yourself on set that you never knew. And it's beautiful. Like, you don't, like, for me, the most I feel is on set. It's where I thrive, it's where I live. And so it doesn't matter about the story. It does, but it doesn't completely matter as long as it's something for you, and the story can just be a release for you. It doesn't have to be something that others will enjoy, you know.
Previously held by 2019's Captain Marvel, Barbie took the title of the highest grossing global opening for a movie directed by a woman.
Utah's a magical place with a lot of energy.
Within 20 minutes of driving from downtown Salt Lake City, you're in the mountains. It just looks so American to me.
You come to Salt Lake City, you come to Utah, you find a crew who is hungry and they want to stretch themselves every single day to sort of match your vision.
We were able to crew and cast so much locally. I think that brought so much to the project.
It's just easier to sort of make our ideas happen here.
For our final piece, we have an industry spotlight with Virginia Pearce, director of the Utah Film Commission. With many years of experience, Virginia started at the Sundance Institute, where she served as an associate director of artist relations for 12 years. In 2014, she took on the role of director at the Utah Film Commission and has been leading the organization ever since.
I really love working at the Film Commission, and I think what I have, similar to Sundance, I do a lot of behind-the-scenes work to help make films happen. I think if I were to work in film, I would be a producer. It's really where my skills are. But I love connecting all the dots, and you know, we host a visiting filmmaker who's never been to Utah before, and they're a little unsure about how to make their project happen here, and we do some location scouting and talk about how you could make your film in Utah, and just seeing them experience Utah for the first time was really exciting and fun, and watching them creatively figure out, like, how are we going to do a certain scene with this in mind, and this is what we have to work with, and just watching that creative process is really, I love too. So that's the parts I love the most, I think. I grew up here in Utah, grew up in Salt Lake, went to Uintah High, and then when I left high school, I wanted to explore and see things outside of Utah, so I went to University of Oregon, and I studied journalism and French. Wasn't totally sure what I was going to do with either of those, but I loved my time there, and fun fact, I went to college with Ty Burrell, who, you know, stars Modern Family and is a Utah resident now. So when I left college, my job for 10 years, I was a freelance commercial photographer, and it was a fun challenge. So after I kind of did the photography side of things, I was looking around for, it's hard to do freelance work, I will say that. It was exhausting. And 10 years of, you know, hustling and trying to make a living was plenty for me, and I wanted to take a break and get a job where someone else just paid me to do something. And so I looked at Sundance. I'd always been a film fan, and I got a job at Sundance, just a part-time job for the festival that became a full-time job. And I was there for almost 14 years, and I really loved that side of things and kind of transitioned into film, and really was more of coming from a film lover's perspective than a filmmaker's perspective. But I loved the opportunities I got to help filmmakers make their films and kind of see their dreams come true. And I just really felt like that was a strength, was kind of being behind the scenes and helping connect people and make things happen. And after Sundance, I went to work for Spy Hop, which is a local youth media organization, and just does some amazing things and really fosters kids through a lot of different medias, but film was a part of it. And then this job at the Film Commission came up, and it seemed like another side of film that I hadn't tackled before, kind of more on the film production side, and focused on Utah film production, which I didn't know that much about. Working at Sundance, I really knew a lot of independent filmmakers around the world, but didn't know a whole lot about what was happening in Utah. And so again, felt like kind of a fun challenge, and so I've been here almost 10 years. And I think a lot of film industry people were like, who are you? And why is this, why are you the right person for the job? And I think, I definitely had a few months of, is this job the right fit for me? Like, am I experienced enough, or do I have enough to bring to the table? And I think obviously, you assume that people are confident in what they do, and then you learn that everyone has the same nerve-wracking, terrified couple of days, and the first thing that they're doing, even at my age, and when you're like, okay, I'm, gonna wing this and pretend like I know what I'm doing for a while. And then I did know what I was doing, so I caught up to myself. The Film Commission is an interesting part of the film's ecosystem. Almost every state and city and country has a film commission, and our role is to connect local resources with filmmakers, whether those filmmakers are local or from out of state or out of country. And so I think, knowing what you have in your own backyard and loving where you live certainly helps. I came into this job not knowing a lot about film production. I have never made a film. But I have an amazing team who come from the film world, and we all together make up a really great version of a group of people that can really sell Utah to filmmakers. I think knowledge of the film scene and my knowledge from Sundance of all of these different players that go, that make decisions about where to make movies was really helpful. I think I have grown the independent film world in Utah when it was really a lot of TV and more commercial films that were coming here, and I really am proud of that. I love that there's been a number of films that shot here and then premiered at Sundance. So I think I brought a lot of the skills that I've had through other jobs and just my own passions to it, and I think that's really ultimately what's most important. The film industry is really, it's been a tough year because people haven't been working. The other thing that we're working on is, that hopefully you've seen, is it's 100 years of film history in Utah, and that's been such a fun project for us. We launched a big exhibit at the Capitol, all about the 100 years, and I definitely learned a lot. I felt like I knew some, but I certainly didn't know the breadth of the film that has been here, especially in the 50s and 60s. We were killing it. We had so much production here, and a lot thanks to the Western genre and how popular that was at the time. And Utah was such a great place to put Westerns. But it's been really a fun project, and we're celebrating throughout the year all over the state in a lot of different ways, and so that's really something I'm focusing on for the next year as well. We are excited in December to be really looking forward and looking at the next 100 years of film and what that could look like in Utah, and so we've created a film festival called the Focus on the Future, and it's a festival with an open call to anyone 18 to 25 or who's enrolled in a program currently. And just a lot of opportunity. I'm hoping to build some things out around networking and kind of, exposing people who are participating in this to industry professionals, and so it really can be a jumping off point for those people. A big focus of the Film Commission obviously is continuing the pipeline and making sure that we have people that can step into the shoes of the industry professionals that have been in this game for a long time. And so one of the jobs that we've been doing is really looking at all of the higher ed institutions around the state and just making sure that those film programs, because I think now every higher ed has a film program. And so really working with them to make sure that they have what they need and that they're teaching things that are going to be applicable to the industry when they get out and connecting them with industry resources. And then going to visit. I think this year we have visited, just in the last 3 months, we have visited every higher ed institution except for University of Utah and SLIC. Those are our last 2 that we have to do. So we've done all the other ones around the state. And it's been such a cool experience to just talk to young filmmakers and hear where they want to go. And so that's definitely something that we are still working on. My advice, if you're looking to get into the industry, would be to really try to figure out what side of things is most interesting to you. Because I think I hear from a lot of people that are like, I want a job in film, and they don't really know, and that's hard. It's hard to come to someone and say, I want to work in film, but without, there's so many jobs in film. And so kind of trying to figure out what you like and what you're interested in. And if you don't know, try to get some experience on set. I think a great opportunity is to be an extra. They always need people to be extras on film, and it's such a great way to see what happens on set and what it looks like. Even if you're, just a background person in a scene, you can see the camera operators, you can see the wranglers and, the producers and the directors, and really understand how the film comes together. So I think that's a great opportunity, and I think if your passion is making films, just make films. You've got to continue to make a film and, put your name out there and really just work on your craft, even if you end up doing a different job or working in film in a different area, but still work on your creative side as well.
Thanks again to Virginia for sharing her experience in Utah film. And thank you for watching another episode of Students in Focus. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next episode. And check out past episodes at UEN Video. And hey, did I mention you can submit your project to be featured here on Students in Focus? See you next time.